Welcome to the Sunny Days Podcast. I am your host, Sunny Brooks, and I'm so excited to have you. This show was created to inspire women to heal from their past, take control of the present, and manifest their future. Here you will get love, laughter, support, and straight realness. So if you're ready to get rid of your shit and live unapologetically, this is for you. Let's start healing, living, and fucking manifesting. Yeah, today's been a little rough because Mercury retrograde is coming. If you don't know about Mercury retrograde, you might want to read up on it. Go to our website. My website, Soulful Vibes Co, and you will learn more about Mercury retrograde. But this technology kind of been glitching a little bit, which I know is because Mercury retrograde is coming. However, welcome to Sunny Side. I'm going to answer 3 questions that was already submitted. If you have any questions that you want me to answer or you need advice on something specific, feel free to submit it on the link that says submit your questions. Click that link and submit your questions there. The first question I have is, if you're still in a triggering environment, example, work in a public setting, and abusive ex/friends can literally stand near you, reminding you of sexual trauma and mocking you, or random strangers invading your space on train home demanding attention, as you work in customer service, what can you do so it doesn't cause a downward spiral? Plus, management aren't great, so would not do anything about people bothering you on public property or venue. Okay, so I have a few things, right? If you're still in a triggering environment, work in a public setting, and an abusive ex or friend can literally stand near you and remind you. Okay, so now I think I understand. Like, you work somewhere where people still have access to you, people that you don't want to have access to you, and strangers that may bother you and trigger you because of, it triggers your past, being that you dealt with sexual trauma. I think I'm understanding it right. So what we do when we get triggered, so what we have to realize is when we are triggered, that means something's wrong. Something needs attention, right? Something needs attention. I'm not saying that being triggered is a bad thing or that you're a fucked up individual if you're being triggered. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you get mad, uncomfortable, sad about something, if you are triggered, it is causing you to pay attention to this. So this specific something you need to pay attention to. That's one thing, right? Because there's multiple moving pieces to this. But you need to pay attention to why is it triggering you? Okay, if someone's standing next to you, is it because you have you struggle with people coming close to you because you have experienced some sort of sexual abuse in the past? Okay, that means that needs attention. You can't keep sweeping it under the rug. We become triggered when we don't heal. We are triggered when we don't face our shit, right? We become triggered when we don't let go of the past. We don't become triggered when shit is peaches and creams, right? So you want to make sure that you are doing your healing work. What are you doing around this sexual trauma? Are you healing it? Are you releasing it? Are you forgiving yourself? Are you forgiving others? You want to do that, because if not, you will continue to get triggered. No matter how many, because we live in a world with people, right? So no matter how many people you avoid, how many workplaces you try to change, and you get new jobs to not be around so many people, things like that, you're still going to have to interact with people. So you're going to be triggered until you face your fears, face your pain, face your trauma. So we have to start there. We have to start with us, right? Especially when we're triggered, we can't say, oh, this person is triggering me. Because a lot of times, right, I remember I was in an abusive relationship, and the individual used to say, the only reason I act like this is because you caused me, or the only reason why I say this to you or do this to you is because you triggered me into doing it, right? Which may be true. I may have triggered this individual. I may have triggered their abandonment from a child, right? And they decided to act out and do some things. But that is not my responsibility to be in control of that person's actions, right? So, not saying that your triggering isn't real, but that comes from you. You cannot allow outside sources and outside people to trigger your emotions and to play on your emotions, especially being that these are people, your exes and friends, they probably know you and they know what triggers you. And some people use that shit against you and they use it and keep getting on your nerves and keep triggering you. So you don't want to keep allowing them that type of access. You have to do your work. When you are triggered, it is time for you to look inside. See how you can change being triggered, right? And I'm not a person that say avoid places, because a lot of people is like, oh, well, just avoid this person. Just avoid going this place. I'm not that person, because we can't avoid everything in life. Some things we have to face to face, head on head, and deal with that shit, right? And if it's still new, you take your time, take baby steps. What are you doing to help yourself? Are you seeking counseling? Are you going to maybe group therapy? What are you doing that's conducive to your healing? Because it screams healing all around this, right? And if they're mocking you and things like that, that deals with the respect thing, right? You can, if you're in a public place, right? Your management may not be able to do something, but have you thought about filing a restraining order? If they're harassing you and things like that, maybe a restraining order. If they're invading your space, yeah. If people are invading your space and stuff, you restraining order, especially if this is a recurring person. But I think you said, let me see, you said random strangers invading your space on train home. Well, yeah, I'm gonna assume that on the way home the train is packed and people are standing really close to you. You don't like people close to you because of your abuse. This is what I'm saying. You can't avoid the train. You can't make people not stand close to you, because if the train is packed, they're gonna probably stand close. So we have to figure out, what do we need to do on the inside of us? What do we need to do to heal us and heal our stuff, so when we are in these situations, we're not spiraling and we're not triggered as much as we used to be. Yeah, that's what I would say with that. Like, you have to start with you and start on your healing journey. Number 2, the second question is, how can I tell the difference between my intuition telling me not to do something versus if my self-limiting beliefs are telling me I can't do it? Fear. That's what, like, this is one of those questions that I would like to think and like really analyze and think about and come with like a logical answer. But the first thing that popped up was fear. That's what pops up. Fear. Intuition doesn't act out of fear, right? Intuition is, so for example, say if it says, let's see, I'm trying to think. Okay, perfect. If it's, because what you say are your self-limiting beliefs. I'm trying to think of one that will be, because I was going to say, okay, say if you want to start a business, but that would, I'm trying to think. Let me think. And this is so raw, like, I'm not even going to edit this out. So say if you're going somewhere, right? And something say, oh, no, don't go there. You don't need to go there, right? A good way to tell the difference between your intuition and self-limited beliefs, right, is it's saying not to go there, but is it saying not to go there because you have to socialize with people and you really don't like to socialize with people? You rather be an introvert, you rather stay to yourself and stay in a home and not socialize with people, and you get really anxious and nervous and scared when you talk to people and have to socialize, so you rather not go. That's fear. That's fear-based, right? So that's probably a self-limiting belief, because you believe that you can't socialize, you're not good at socializing, people don't want to hear what you have to say, you're not a good person to socialize and be at a party, or whatever the case is, right? That's fear-based. That would probably be self-limiting belief, versus you're not to go. Don't go. Don't go because something is going to happen. That still sounds like fear, right? It's like, oh, something's going to happen. I'm scared what's going to happen. No, don't go because as if it's warning you for something. Or don't go because, for example, I remember a client a while ago. They were invited somewhere they really didn't want to go, but they were forcing themselves to go. And their intuition was telling them not to go, right? they're telling them not to go because they didn't really like the people, but what they did is they went anyway, and it was a shit show. So that not to go was they didn't originally want to go, but their intuition was keep telling them not to go because it wasn't good for them. The people, they weren't really her friends and things like that, right? Long story short, fear. There's two different ones. If it's a business, right, and you're like, oh, I'm going to start this business. And it's like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to start it because what if I fail? What if I not become successful? What if, like, people don't support me? That sounds fear-based. So that's not your intuition. That's self-limiting beliefs. Or, hey, start a business, but just pause. Wait, don't launch the business right now. Why not to launch the business? Maybe because the timing isn't right? That's intuition. And intuition will maybe sometimes it strikes some fear in us because sometimes it depends on how you communicate and how your intuition communicates with you. Because sometimes I get shit from my intuition. I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. And I get a little fear, but I check it. But not the whole, whatever the thought is not based out of fear. If you can do it, do it. Unless your intuition is guiding you elsewhere. Think about this. Our intuition is basically here to guide us and protect us. Our self-limiting beliefs is to hold us back and cause fear. That's how I would sum that up. And the last question is, how do I interact more with my spirit guide? What is the difference between numerology and astrology as far as metaphysics? Okay, so that's two different questions. So how do I interact more with my spirit guide? Initiate the conversation. Your spirit guide, your ancestors, creator, God, angels, whoever and whatever you want to connect with. You initiate it. Hey, spirit guide, I want to have a relationship with you. I want to talk to you more. Can you send me a sign? Ask for signs, but you have to be open and willing to see the signs. If you're not attentive, if you're not paying attention, if you're going to be like, oh, that was just a coincidence, right? You have to take signs. So when you say, hey, send me a sign, let me know that this is you. Then you start seeing synchronicity, numbers, or you start seeing maybe a bird or a butterfly, things like that, right? Take it as a sign. You just say it. You talk to them. You talk to them like it's your best friend. Especially with ancestors too. If you want to contact and get in contact with your ancestors, you make the initiation. Just like if you was like, hey, I want a cousin. I know this cousin, but I want to get to know this cousin better. What are you going to do? Probably text them, call them, say, hey, let's go out, let's do something. Or, hey, I would like to get to know you better. What do you want to do? Right? And then you wait for them to text back. You wait for them to call or something. Same type of thing. Same thing. And then it says, what is the difference between, so I'm sorry, it was 4 questions. What is the difference between numerology and astrology as far as metaphysics? So numerology deals with numbers. So that is like life path numbers, which I can get into another day. But life path numbers, you may see 111, 222, 333. Numerology deals with numbers, the meaning of numbers, the study of numbers and what they mean. And astrology deals with the planets and the, what is it called? The planetary system, I guess. No. Is that what it's called? The stars, moons. I can't think of the name right now that sums that up. I can't think of it. No, I can't. But basically the moons, the stars, the sun, the zodiac system for people who know what that is, the planets. The astrology deals with the study of the astro world, right? Yeah, that makes sense. The astro world, which is the universe, the stars, the galaxies, and all that. That's the study of that. So you're talking about maybe your natal chart. You're talking about Mercury retrograde. You're talking about zodiac signs. All of that deals with astrology. It's the study of the astro world, and numerology is the study of numbers. Okay? So I want to make sure that you all know how to submit your questions. Click the link because I do want to make sure that you all get a chance to get your questions answered and get advice on whatever you want to get advice on. So please, right now, soon as this ends, click the link, submit your questions, click that link, and submit your questions. Please submit your questions so I can have more questions to answer. And 9 times out of 10, the question you have, somebody else do. No, if nobody told you today, guess what? I fucking love you. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, be sure to leave me a review and share this episode with others. Also, you can screenshot it and post it on your social media page and tag me at I am Sunny Brooks. Be sure to check out my website at www.iamsunnybrooks.com and follow me on all social media platforms at I am Sunny Brooks. Let's heal and manifest together.